Will you do that?
I'll talk about it, yeah.
We lost 1,000,000 votes, and it's a lot of reasons.
That's a mistake.
So can we meet on? I'd like to meet with him.
I'll let you know.
I'll call him right now.
All right. Rose.
Freddie
Well, he's your mentor. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I'm
that
in the
one.
same county your parents live in, Mott County.
Yes, sir.
We will win Florida and Ohio. We will take at least 2 or 3 or 4 states that were won by Gore in the last election.
The W sign.
Let me just make it clear to you. We're not going to let this be a repeat of 2000. We're not going to let this be a repeat of 2000. We're not going to see 1 million African Americans deprived of their votes in America.
The anticipation of the results coming in tonight is going to fill everybody with kind of joy that this community hasn't had for a very long time. So now I am on my way to a precinct where we've had problems with provisional voting.
Hi, I'm Faye Cofield. I'm licensed private investigator. Okay. And there was a complaint that people were not being given provisional ballots to vote.
Right.
Are you not giving provisional ballots?
We haven't been given our authorities to do that. We have to call the main office and we get this.
No, ma'am. This is a federal election.
Okay.
And there are federal candidates on this election. I need your name.
Okay, let me get.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me give you my card. Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Here's my card. And here is my license. So you can...
We've had problems with the ability of voters to vote a provisional ballot if their name does not appear on the rolls.
And you're supposed to be coming back out.
Yeah, I'm coming out.
Thank you, sir. Okay, can we? Oh, I know she didn't close the door in my face. I know she didn't close the door.
The Secretary of State's office has said before a provisional ballot can be issued to a voter, that the Secretary of State's office has to be called.
You're in violation of federal law, and we've tried to talk to you about it, but you won't come outside. Nobody's gonna play with you. This is a person's right to vote.
Okay.
What kind of micromanagement of the election process is this that ends up potentially disenfranchising duly registered voters?
And they will not talk to us. They wouldn't talk to me, but I told them I was gonna file a federal complaint, so we're gone.
We don't know if this is intentional obstructionism or if this is just callous indifference to the right of a voter.
Am I ready to go? You ready to go? Okay. Well, a rare vote of approval from my mother.
Precincts reporting in the state of Georgia, President George W. Bush with a commanding lead, 62.6%.
I don't believe that.
Senator John Kerry, 36.5%.
Wow. I don't know where those people live. They on a different planet.
New Life Flat Shows 1026.
This is beautiful.
Crossroads 909. Memorial South.
Are you calling to see by how wide a margin I won?
You better make sure you won.
Well, it's not over yet. Naughty Dread rides again. That's our song. I'll wake up now. Uh-oh. This is totally incredible. The voters turned out in historic numbers and delivered a historic victory. The president told supporters. America has spoken. You have to give it to them. All you can say is they're good. They're good at what they do. We have to get better.
After the election in 2004, we began to get complaints from all over the country about things that had happened to people. We document them. But one state had more people calling in, disgusted, sometimes crying, some dejected, some swearing they would never vote again. Ohio.
The black vote, which is so instrumental when our vote is counted, was again targeted in several ways. The longest lines, the most eliminated provisional votes, the most inconvenienced, the most victimized by precinct manipulation, with machines unused in warehouses. The machines were dry while the voters were wet.
The lines in the black precincts were 2, 3, 4 times as long as those in the suburbs. Now, some say, well, gee, that's just an accident. When you see that kind of an event, you better believe someone intended that. Now, why was that intended? Because somebody doesn't like black Americans? No. It's because black Americans have this propensity, statistical propensity, to vote 9 times out of 10 in support of a Democratic candidate.
I think some things are just really simple. You ask for my money through taxes. You want my son to die for you. You want my daughters to wave the flag. You have to give us the reason why. My vote and everyone else in this room and across this country must be counted, must be awarded that if we're going to shed our blood and we're going to work every day in our laborious task. Now what are you going to do for us to keep doing that for you?
Too many young people decided that they were going to vote in 2004. These young people needed to have somebody say, I heard you. I saw you go vote. I know you turned out in massive numbers. I know you were disenfranchised, and I'm not going to let it go.
For what purpose does the member from Ohio rise?
In January of 2005, when the certification of the vote reached the floor of Congress, the Congressional Black Caucus said, we're not going to put up with it again, and we're going to demand at least a discussion of what happened.
Since 2000, when we had so many problems in Florida, there's been very little opportunity to offer any type of legislation, any type of amendment in the Republican-controlled House. What are they afraid of? Why can't we have a debate?
Now, that doesn't mean that it became a national discussion, because there was a virtual blackout on that extraordinary constitutional political story.
The clerk will report the objection.
We, a member of the House of Representatives and a United States Senator, object to the counting of the electoral votes of the state of Ohio.
But one senator, a white woman from California, Barbara Boxer, had the guts to stand up and say, I want to talk about what happened in Ohio.
So now it seems to me that under our great Constitution of the United States of America, that we swear allegiance to uphold, which guarantees the right to vote, that we must ask certain questions.
I couldn't believe it. It gave us the opportunity to have the debate that we needed to have 4 years ago.
In 2000, Democratic senators, even Al Gore himself, stood there with their mouths zipped shut while they watched an electoral coup d'etat in process and said nothing.
4 years ago, I didn't intervene. I was asked by Al Gore not to do so. Frankly, looking back on it, I wish I had. It really wasn't about Al Gore. It was about the voters.
The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Ohio, Mrs. Jones, for 5 minutes.
I thank God that I have a senator for joining me in this objection. This objection does not have at its root the hope or even the hint of overturning the victory of the president, but it is a necessary, timely, and appropriate opportunity to review and remedy the most precious process in our democracy.
They claim that they act on behalf of disenfranchised voters, but no such voter disenfranchisement occurred in this election of 2004, and for that matter, the election of 2000. Everybody knows it. The voters know it.
Ohio, we will take at least 2 or 3 or 4 states that were won by Gore in the last election.
The W sign.
African Americans deprived of their votes in America.
The anticipation of the results coming in tonight is going to fill everybody with kind of joy that this community hasn't had for.
I'll let you know.
I'll call him one else.
All right? Rose.
Freddie.
He's your mentor. That's what he said.
I live in the same county your parents live in, Mon County.
Yes, sir.
We will win Florida. And
Let me just make it clear to you. We're not going to let this be a repeat of 2000. We're not going to let this be a repeat of 2000. We're not going to see a million.
I got to clear it with your mentor, Rose.
Will you do that?
I'll talk about it, yeah.
We lost 1 million votes, and it's a lot of reasons.
That's a mistake.
So can we meet on, I'd like to meet with them.